From the vastness of galaxies and stars to the tiniest subatomic particles, the structure of our universe is governed by precise mathematical values, which are the fundamental constants and quantities of nature. Recent scientific discoveries demonstrate that each of these numbers are tuned with astonishing precision, falling within an incredibly narrow range that allows life to exist. If just one of these values were altered by the slightest fraction, life as we know it would be impossible. No stars, no planets, no chemistry, nothing. Take gravity, for example. The force of gravity is determined by the gravitational constant. If this value varied by even 1 part in 10 to the 60th power, our universe would be unrecognizable, as the universe would either expand too quickly for stars and planets to form or collapse back on itself before life could begin. To grasp how precise that is, this number is far greater than the total cells in your body, or the seconds that have passed since the beginning of time. Now, consider the cosmological constant, which represents the energy density of empty space, also known as dark energy, which drives the accelerated expansion of the universe. If it were altered by just 1 part in 10 to the 120th power, the universe would either expand too fast, making it impossible for galaxies, stars, or planets to form, or the universe would expand too slowly, which would lead to gravity-overwhelming expansion, causing the universe to collapse. And then there's the mass-energy balance of the early universe, which refers to how energy and mass were distributed and evolved in the first moments after the Big Bang. This balance had to be tuned to an almost inconceivable precision, 1 part in 10 to the 10th to the 123rd power. This level of fine-tuning is so extreme that it defies any reasonable expectation of chance. Speaking of the Big Bang, this theory has been backed by extensive mathematical equations, physical laws, and observational evidence that suggest that the universe had a beginning and is constantly expanding. This aligns with the cosmological argument, which states that whatever begins to exist must have a cause. Since the universe cannot create itself, its cause must be beyond space and time, immaterial, powerful, and intentional. Traits consistent with the nature of God. Wherever physicists look, they find overwhelming evidence of fine-tuning. The values of these constants appear to be delicately set for life to exist. If someone claims this isn't surprising, they are ignoring the staggering improbability of it all. So, what explains this? There are 3 possible answers. 1. Physical necessity. The universe had to be this way. 2. Chance. We just got unbelievably lucky. 3. Design. The universe was deliberately fine-tuned. The first option, physical necessity, suggests that the universe had no choice but to be life-permitting. But is this reasonable? No. There's no evidence or law of nature requiring the universe to be this way. In fact, a universe incapable of supporting life is far more probable than one that does. What about chance? Could we have simply hit the cosmic jackpot? The problem is, the odds are so astronomically small that chance isn't a realistic explanation. To keep this possibility alive, some have speculated about a multiverse, an idea that suggests an infinite number of universes exist, making it inevitable that at least one would be life-permitting. But there's a major issue. There is no scientific evidence for the multiverse. It cannot be observed, measured, or tested. And even if a universe-generating mechanism existed, it would itself require fine-tuning, leaving us right back where we started. So, if physical necessity and chance don't provide satisfying answers, what does? The most reasonable conclusion is that the universe was designed. As scientist Fred Hoyle put it, a common-sense interpretation of the facts suggests that a super-intellect has monkeyed with physics. The numbers one calculates from the data seem overwhelmingly to point in that direction. It seems as though someone has fine-tuned the universe to allow for life. The impression of design is simply undeniable. I will leave you with a verse from the book of Colossians. "For by him all things were created, in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things were created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together.